So in today's video, we're going to find out if Total War by Redcon1 is the pre-workout that'll fire up your training sessions. Hey everyone, Selwyn here from Wynn, where the goal of the channel is to help you get a little bit stronger every single day. On today's video, we're actually going to be reviewing a supplement that I've been using for about a couple of months now, and we'll go over some of the reasons why you should buy it and some of the reasons why you shouldn't buy it. On today's review table is Redcon1's Total War pre-workout. So this is a pre-workout designed to be taken 30 to 60 minutes before you work out to help provide you some energy and some stimulant energy, as well as some increased blood flow to help you train a little bit harder. So first off, I'll go over the ingredients because I think that's pretty crucial as to if this workout is good for you or not. So the first ingredient is going to be Citrulline Malate. They've included 6 grams of that. Based on the limited research that is available, it suggests that there is an improvement in power output, a reduction in fatigue, and improved endurance for both aerobic and anaerobic exercises. Many of the studies have used acute citrulline supplementation, and it's possible that there's an effect here, but the benefits are more likely to be found from chronic supplementation. So you won't really feel the effects of this after one day. You probably going to feel it after a week or two of use. But again, according to the research, around 6 to 8 grams is found to be an efficacious dose. So we're right at that minimum threshold there of 6 grams, which I think is kind of fine. What I'll do is actually I'll link down below all of the research that I've cited, so you can read for yourself what the research actually does say about all the different ingredients that I'm listing out today. The next ingredient is going to be beta-alanine, and it's going to include 3.2 grams. The research dose is going to be 2 to 5 grams, so right in that money. Beta-alanine has been shown to enhance muscular endurance. Many people report being able to perform about 1 or 2 additional reps in gym when training, right in that 8 to 15 rep range, and that's right in our kind of hypertrophy, up at the upper limits of strength reps right there. So beta-alanine supplementation can also improve moderate to high intensity cardiovascular performance like rowing or sprinting. So again, we've got some science showing that it is effective, and we're right in that scientifically researched efficacious dose. So the next ingredient we have is Agmatine Sulfate. They've included 1 gram of it. This is considered to be a neurotransmitter and neuromodulator. It's working through the nitric oxide synthase enzymes, which allows it to modulate nitric oxide. So the goal here is to vasodilate blood vessels and help get those bigger pumps in the gym. Unfortunately, the research that exists only shows animal trials. It's not included in a lot of supplements because there's not a lot of human trials in it. And the trials that do exist do recommend a 2 to 3 gram daily dosage protocol with only 1 gram of this ingredient in here. Not really the efficacious dose, and not really a great research-backed ingredient to include. Next will be taurine, which can aid in various antioxidant defense systems. You'll see it listed as an ingredient in a lot of other energy drinks that aren't necessarily directed towards pre-workout. That's just because it can increase blood flow, and there are slight improvements in walking distance. Daily dosage ranges from anywhere from 500 to 2,000 milligrams. Upper limit is going to be around 3 grams a day for health reasons. They've included 1 gram, so we're right in that ballpark of where it should be. And again, a nice common ingredient that kind of synergizes with the next ingredient there, and that's caffeine. Caffeine is a huge ingredient that everyone takes everywhere. It's also big in a lot of pre-workouts, this being no different. They've included 250 milligrams of caffeine. Obviously, we all know what it is. It's a powerful stimulant. So if you've never had caffeine before, 100 milligrams is a good starting point. This is probably a good place to start, half a scoop if you've never had any sort of pre-workout. For acute strength performances, research shows that 500 milligrams and higher is going to help, but that's going to be based on individual tolerances, as well as your caffeine habituation. That's going to play a big role in that. But researchers do tend to stick into that 4 to 6 milligrams per kilogram of body weight per day as a good threshold. And that's for my body weight at around 200 pounds is going to be anywhere from 360 to 540 milligrams of daily caffeine intake from all sources. So if you're taking coffees, other energy drinks, just be mindful of adding all of that up over the course of the day. The next ingredient we have here is Juniper extract from juniper berries. Contains ingredients that might decrease swelling. It also might be effective in fighting bacteria and viruses. Juniper might also increase the need to urinate. So there's an interesting effect there. But unfortunately, no clinical data exists to support the use of Juniper for any indication, for any reason. They've included 150 milligrams of that ingredient here for potentially those ergogenic benefits, but again, not backed by science. Next ingredient will be DiCaffeine Malate, 600 milligrams of that. And all this is another form of caffeine. There aren't too many studies that look specifically at DiCaffeine Malate, so we kind of just have to rely on anecdotal evidence and the researched effects of regular caffeine. So the dosage for DiCaffeine Malate is a little different. You want to base it on the on 125% of the amount of traditional caffeine. For a 200-pound person like myself, that'll range from 453 to 681 milligrams. So when this is going to get a little bit complex is you need to, that's not in addition to your caffeine, that's going to be combined with your caffeine. So you don't want to exceed that standard caffeine dose when you include this DiCaffeine Malate. And speaking of caffeine, the next ingredient is going to be green tea extract. So it's been implicated in benefiting almost every organ system in the body. It is cardioprotective, neuroprotective, has anti-obesity, anti-carcinogenic, anti-diabetic, anti-atherogenic, liver protective, and beneficial for blood health. However, the researched claims of this are still undergoing, and there might simply not have any positive benefit that can be proven in a lab. I think they might be including it for the caffeine effects because green tea extract does have some caffeine. Next ingredient, the 8th ingredient on the list is going to be Naringin, which is basically a flavonoid extract from grapefruit, beneficial for the treatment of obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and metabolic syndrome. It should also help with some blood flow. One study suggested 500 milligrams per day is necessary for healthy adults. They've only included 25 milligrams here. Next on the list is BioPerine, which is basically a patented black pepper extract. Synergistic effects with green tea and curcumin as it increases the bioavailability by inhibiting certain enzymes in the body. From the research available from BioPerine, so there's a little bit of bias there. For the efficacious dose anyway, 20 milligrams is required. They've only included 10 milligrams in the total war, so again, half of what should be efficacious dose. And the final 10th ingredient on the list is Theobroma cocoa extract. Basically a cocoa powder extract. They put a little bit of chocolate in here. The enzyme is included for its antioxidant benefits, typically researched for anti-cancer properties. Some research suggests reduction in blood pressure and increases in nitric oxide. Efficacious dose lies within 350 to 500 milligrams for any workout benefits. They've included 5 milligrams, so it's the 1% of what you would typically want to have if you're including that much, including cocoa and in there anyway. So as you can see from that list of around 10 active ingredients, only about 3 of those are going to be worth your money in this point. So you're really only paying for Citrulline Malate, the beta-alanine, and the various caffeine compounds that they're including in this pre-workout. If you do want to check it out, I'll leave a link below so you can save 20% with my coupon code. Link is in the description. So with regards to flavor and taste, it's not the best tasting pre-workout that I've ever tasted, and I think that's going to be a good thing. The reason I think it's a great thing that it doesn't taste that good is that they don't include too many artificial flavors and sweeteners in there. So the fact that you can kind of taste a little bit of those trace chemicals from that bitterness still lies in there is a good thing, because they haven't masked it too much with, they haven't had to offset that bitterness with a lot of sweetness. Because I'm a pretty habitual caffeine user, when I'm not training, probably take around 4 to 5 cups of coffee a day, maybe an energy drink thrown in there. So my body's pretty tolerated to caffeine. What I'll do is I'll actually take this with a 200 milligram caffeine tablet to get that extra boost that I probably need, but probably shouldn't have. This recommends drinking this with about 4 to 6 ounces of water. I double that to about 12 ounces of water so I can sip it about 30 minutes up to the workout, and then I'll finish that during my first couple of warm-up sets. Will this give you an insane training experience? No, it won't. It'll boost it mildly. You might be able to get an extra couple of reps for a couple of sets for that day. You probably, instead of training for an hour, you might be able to get maybe 90 minutes of good training and then another 30 minutes of tapering down training. Nothing crazy there, but I mean, it does help. at the start of the workout. So take this and then you'll get some really good benefits from your first main priority movement for the day. And finally, the rating. I'll give it about a 3 out of 5, to be honest with you. It's not great. The ingredient profile is okay for a pre-workout. Like there are other pre-workouts where the ingredient list is giant and they've included a lot of things that don't do anything, and they're in such small amounts that even if they did do something, they wouldn't be doing it. They couldn't do anything because of how small the amount is. So it's a lot better than others in the market. Again, the flavor I think is great. I like the pineapple flavor, is probably my favorite one so far. I've tried the tiger's blood and the rainbow candy. It could be better. It could be boosted if they dropped out some of the ingredients from the profile and bumped up a couple of other ones so that they were all in line with that efficacious dose. But again, coming down to price, I think if you find this on sale, this is the only time I'd recommend buying it. They do run specials every now and then. Half price, if you can get this for half price, sticker price, I would say get it because it's a cheap. Remember, you're paying for the 3 ingredients there, the caffeine, the citrulline, and the beta-alanine. And at half price, that's a good price point for getting 3 ingredients that are already pre-mixed for you. Other than that, I wouldn't recommend buying this if there's no sale or special or some sort of extra freebie they're going to throw in there. So just keep an eye out for Instagram updates and sign up for the newsletter and make sure to be aware when they throw a sale, and then that's a great time to buy it. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Leave a comment below if you use Total War and what your thoughts are on the pre-workout, and also what's your favorite pre-workout if there's one you would like me to review next and go over those ingredients. This has been Selin from Wynn Strength, and remember, a better life through strength.